It's so amusing to see the waves go crash down on me and drag me into the sea. Why is it so easy to be so indifferent to me when I wear my heart on my sleeve?
Welcome to Skechcraft, the podcast for art, design, and process junkies. I'm Rob Duenas, full-time designer, illustrator, and graphic artist Esquire. This is an unedited podcast, which means there will be cursing from time to time, so please be aware. That said, here we go.
Like a willow tree, getting pulled down by gravity. By gravity. By gravity. By gravity.
All right, everybody. So, hey, this is Rob D, artist Esquire, and you are listening to a very special episode of Skechcraft. Coming to you, well, not really live, but coming to you from the road. So pardon the quality of this recording, but I am currently doing this on the iPhone, no plug intended, as I travel on to PhoenixCon. So by the time you guys get to listen to this, PhoenixCon will have come and gone. But for right now, it has yet to come. I'm currently in the middle of nowhere around 2 a.m. So here's the thing. So PhoenixCon has a preview night Thursdays. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kind of like Comicon. And except one day shorter. And I was supposed to get here earlier on Thursday, like around 4 or 3 p.m. And darned if just about everything in the world got in my way. Oh my goodness, an accident. Oh, I hope they're okay. So, the cops are there. So, anyway. Almost hit a coyote too, but I didn't. Poor little guy. So I was supposed to get here around 4 p.m. or so, and the car I rented broke down, and then they had to come bring me a car, which was really awesome. And then by the time they got there with the car, I drove for a couple hours and just got too tired, had to take a nap. And here I am, 3 hours left to go. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But weather's been fair. And things are good. So let's talk about this. This is my second year going to Phoenix Comicon. Now, I'm based out of San Diego. I drive all the way to Arizona because for pretty much every convention they do, because their art community rocks. California is a very strange place to be an artist. Even though we have LA and the Hollywood scene and whatnot, pretty much every convention I've been to has been sort of like a financial bust. Matter of fact, I took a really large hit in 2009. I went to Long Beach Con, and I think I'd spent $400, $500, $600 between the hotel and prints and some T-shirts I made up and everything, and the table and gas and all that other junk. And I didn't sell jack shit. I mean, that con cost me about $600. And what was really sort of the kicker was that Play, the company I was working with at the time, Play Magazine, went under like a week later. So on top of like losing $600 on the con, because I am not famous enough, by the way, to be comped free tables or whatnot, so I have to pay for everything pretty much. So on top of losing the $600, I also lost my job, which that hurt. So since then, I've really sort of made a concerted effort to never take a hit at a convention ever again, even though I am not granted amenities and travel and free tables. So how does one do this? These are going to be some tips that I'm handing out right now. Take a pencil, paper, etch a sketch, draw something, app, whatever, and write this down. So if you are not famous, like moi, but you possess some talent, like yours truly, then what you have to do is get really fucking studious, all right? So one of the things I started doing was I started taking on commissions. And I knew that if I was going to do one convention a year, and I knew that my overhead cost was about on an average of $500, okay, let's just say average $500, then that means I need to generate $500 worth of commissions over the course of 12 months. Now, at the time, I was doing 0 commissions. So, and just to put stuff out there, oh, buy a watercolor sketch or buy a color pencil sketch. Those things, I don't know, they didn't seem very appealing to me. So, the first thing I tried to do was build an audience. And I offered $10 sketches and advertised on DeviantArt and my Facebook. And I got about 20 people. So, right away, I put about $200 on my account. And that took about a week, you know. I just did nothing but sketches, and I was working for GameFan, but I had a lot of downtime at the time. Because GameFan did not always operate on a monthly schedule. So I'd spend the week just doing sketches, and boom, there's $200, you know, on the side. Boom, here's $200. And I kept doing that to build up all the funds to go to cons. Then what I started doing was I started doing print sets. And you'll see this, like I'll do an exclusive print set for a con, 1 or 2 sets usually. And now I sort of pre-sell those sets on Deviant and Facebook ahead of time. So I'll limit the sets to usually about 20 sets, sometimes 30, you know, if it's a really popular character. But usually 20 is the average. And I sell anywhere from 3, the Avengers set I just did 7 prints. And there's a special bonus 8 print if you pre-order. So tonight's the last night people can pre-order. I already got some last minute hits on the road. And this has been a tremendous success for me. However, it's also come at just, I've spent the last 3 years refining this sort of process and using the money from commissions and everything else to sort of fund the trial and error, finding the right printer, finding the right shipping materials. If people buy prints online and I ship them, will they make it to France or to Ohio intact? And if they don't, you know, how can I deal with the cost of resending things, shipping, all these things? I'd love to get a complete detailed breakdown for you on another podcast. This is not enough time here for that. But suffice to say that between doing prints and commissions, I know, like right now I'm going to this con, and if this con totally blows, it doesn't matter because I'm already in the red. I'm already profitable. The whole con's paid for, plus I have a little bit left over. So, and everyone got a lot of prints, you know. One of the things I found out is I don't charge $20 for a print. I usually do 20 for 3. You know, in this case I'm doing 20 for 7, which is crazy. I'm not making as much as I normally do. However, you know, and so people have said, well, Rob, why don't you charge more for the prints? You're charging way too less. And I'm like, first off, I don't really think $20 for a print, unless that shit's like on an archival paper, you know, it is pretty big. I'm wary of that sort of thing. So, second of all, I'm not that. I mean, guys, I'm honestly, no one knows who the fuck I am. You know, so to get away with that, like I see, you know, Scott Campbell, those guys, they can charge $60, $70 for a print. I can't do that. So what I've sort of do is I try to create these sets, and this sort of came from when I was a kid. Every now and then, someone like Stephen Platt or even Rob Liefeld, Tom McFarlane, these guys at Image and whatnot, they used to do these little like portfolio sets, and there would be like 5-6 images in there, and they come sealed in an envelope and numbered and signed, and I pick them up on eBay every now and then. I kind of keep rebuying them, you know, here and there, and it's sort of like that really interests me. Like that's something that I'm like, wow, you know, I could really start to design like a set of something, and it's something that I myself would be more inclined to purchase. And I found that the magic number that usually gets someone to buy something for $20 is 3 for me. Like that's my magic number. Now you all out there might be far more talented than me, and 1 will be your magic number, and I envy you. But that being said too, I do like the fact that, you know, a mom or even a student, an art student, can come up and get 3 pretty cool 11x17 prints on some pretty good quality paper, and it be exclusive, that there's not that many of these being made. Them and 19 other people are going to get it, and that's that. So I want to say a big thank you to anyone who pre-ordered for this trip. I really, really, really thank you. The stress that I used to feel at cons was overwhelming, to be perfectly honest. And now that I'm able to go and and just enjoy. And I sell, believe me, guys, I sell. I work my ass off. But I'm doing it, you know, to promote the work, not so much to hope I can cover everything and take that depressing ride back home. Because to be perfectly honest with cons, and this is another tip out there, these conventions, they aren't always promoted very well. You know, usually there's a committee that puts together the convention, and they're usually local people to the area in which the convention is going to be at. And you don't know if they did anything besides Facebooking, all right? Or maybe some signs, and they told the local comic shops. So, the case in point, there was a con I went up to in Tucson not too long ago. And it was in the middle of God knows where. There was this big convention center, and it wasn't there. It was at this warehouse behind an RV center. Oh, it was just horrible to find. And suffice to say, it was a bust. I mean, the con was a total drag for 99% of the people there, because no one knew about it. I did fairly all right. I didn't want to brag when everyone was like, oh, you know, I don't really get into my finances, but I was doing all right. But that came down to, like, you know, the mixed media stuff that I do now, like with the watercolors and everything else, more than the digital prints. The digital stuff did all right, but the watercolors, again, and here's another thing, and I'm sort of skipping around because it's fucking 2:30 in the morning, so please bear with me. Artists, learn to do something that's not in the computer. Truly, I love digital art. It allows me, when I go to produce my professional work, it allows me to create things at a level of fidelity that sort of plays to my strengths. I like a lot of little details and perfection and all these. It allows me to do things that I couldn't do with just a pencil alone. I'd have to have a super crow quill, and I might have to draw it twice the size than I normally do to get that sort of thing. So digital allows me to do all those things. However, the mixed media stuff saves. I sell watercolor prints. Got to be what, 12 to 1, you know, from natural traditional media to digital. So the digital stuff sells because I managed to print my lines on boards. I actually have boards, and I do line prints. And so what I'll do is I'll sell the digital with the pencil or the digital lines. So you'll get like the full color enslaved print, right? And for $10, but I'll also throw in the lines for free. So you get the lines and that enslaved print for $10, and it's a pretty good deal for most people. So moving right along, what else? So let me talk about some predictions, and then I'll see how they go, right? So let me come up with 3 things, and this is off the top of my head, because I'm just trying to keep myself awake while I'm out here driving in the middle of nowhere. So let's see, 3 predictions I have for the show, right now, or hopes, and let's sort of see if they work out. One that I make enough money to fly out to Baltimore. The goal for me this year is to go to PhoenixCon and then to fly out to Baltimore. And so I can still do the Baltimore with commissions and everything else, but it's going to be a tighter fit because of the shorter window between now and September. So that gives me like 3 months to sort of put it together. But if the entire trip is covered with the funds from this, then that just means that I can really space out the prints. I can just do a set here and a set there and try not to overload, you know, my audience. I'm very afraid of that, by the way, of producing too much. Oh, buy this now kind of thing. You know, I have a lot of repeat customers and or clients, you know, and not everyone has $20 all the time to be throwing out, especially monthly, you know. And if you do too many of these things, then it's like, oh, here's another thing. Oh, here's another thing. Oh, here's another. I'd prefer to let it go a month or two, and then say, hey, now I got this, you know. So, and the only thing that I'm looking forward to doing right now is some Batman stuff in July. So that would give me a month off from prints in June, and then late July, I could do that. and then August I'd have off, and then I can pre-sell a set for whatever I'm going to do for Baltimore. So I'm hoping that I do well enough here to cover Baltimore, which I'm still not certain how much those plane tickets are going to be. Because I got to do a plane ticket, I got to do the sets, and I still have no idea, by the way, how to get whatever I'm going to take with me, or what I should take with me to Baltimore. So normally, and I'm jumping around here, folks, so bear with me. Normally, when I go to con, I have about 2 boxes I bring with me to the table. It's big boxes. So, and I fill one all the way up with prints, and then the other one is for storage, and I sort of put a few things in there, and then I flip the prints into that. So there's no way that, oh man, I'm passing through manure. God, that reeks. It's like a Rancor's ass just wiped itself in my car. Oh, this is horrible. Okay, so, and the smell changes. First it was like a sock, and now it's, oh God, that's horrible. All right, guys, I don't know. So I know that that's not going to happen. So what do I take to Baltimore? I mean, and furthermore, how do I get it there? It's like, so, you know, if I could send a box of stuff to Tom and go in with Big Dog Inc., I could send it to Tom and he can hold on to it, and then I can get there. I'm afraid to take anything with me on an airplane with the way the airplanes are these days. So I got to work on that. If anyone has any tips for traveling, by the way, to out-of-state conventions, please mail them or email them to rob@Skechcraft, Craft, the name of the podcast.com, Skechcraft, rob@Skechcraft.com. And whoever gives me like some, if anyone out there gives me some really, really great advice, you will win a free commission. Just letting you know. So putting that out there. Okay, so let's see what else. So I'm hoping to make enough to cover the Baltimore trip. And the second thing that I'm kind of hoping happens is I'm hoping that we're not stuck next to the fucking lightsaber table. So last year at Phoenix Con, these guys that make these little bootleg lightsabers were sitting next to us, or stationed next to us, and they'd slam the table to show you that they're durable, right? And they'd whack the table 4 or 5 times, really fucking loud. I mean, just the sound alone pierces your eardrums, let alone the fact that the whole aisle shook. And there was one broad in particular who was working that booth. And we would go, could you please not do that? And she would just whack it 10 times harder than anyone else. And I ended up making a big scene out of it. But I mean, nothing happened. No one stopped them, you know. But I'm not gonna sit there and get bullied at a fucking convention. So I hope they're gone forever, and that I don't have to sit there and try to draw with that in my ear. What else? Looking forward. I'm hoping to network a little bit, you know. I would like to go show my stuff to some people. You know, shocking though it may seem, I really have never taken my artwork around to or try to take it to I don't know, to show the regulars, you know, the Chaos Comics or Aspen or those guys. I've never really taken my stuff around, mostly because I have been unable to take on a lot of freelance work, and even now I'm unable to take on a lot of stuff. So I've always kept myself fairly busy, but not famous. And now I don't know. I'm working on that. So that's something I'm kind of hoping happens, but I'm trepid about it because I don't like signing myself up for work that I can't complete on time, which has been an issue. As you all know, you know, I don't really do the best with deadlines, but I've had a strange schedule the last 3 or 4 years, which, by the way, is all mellowing out finally with the new day job, designing t-shirts and whatnot, which, hey, so if you go see the Avengers and you go to your Target or Walmart and you see Avengers shirts up there, one way or the other, I had a hand in it, so letting y'all know. And Spider-Man too, because we got those licenses. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap this up really quick. So, yeah, I'm kind of hoping to schmooze a little bit. And really just hoping to meet people that I say hi to online. There's a lot of you out there that you know, shoot the shit back and forth, or maybe you buy some stuff. And it's really good to be able to put a face to the name. And I hope to God that I don't pass out today. I have no idea how I'm going to make it 2.5 more hours to Phoenix, sleep for 2 hours, and then go spend 8 or 9 hours at the convention. Luckily, I've been doing this kind of shitty-ass crazy schedule since I was like 8 years old. So to be perfectly honest, I'm fairly used to it, but I don't enjoy this. This is not what I really tried to leave early today. It's crazy. I got up at 5:40 a.m. I had a few minor things to finish. Picked up my car, the rental, at 8. That took almost an hour. And left around, 11 or 12 or something like that. Went to go pick up my prints. Had some leftover prints, and they goofed those up, so that took another hour to kind of fix. And then the whole stuff with the car, and here I am. Oh well. It's like Mal says in Serenity, this is what I do, right? This is what I do. So with all that being said, let's look forward a little bit. Let me wrap this up by looking forward. What could Rob possibly be working on, if I might speak about myself in the third person? So lastly, I am working on stuff, comic stuff. Independent, sure. A project with a friend, and then my own personal project. And how I'm managing the time on that is I'm doing 2 weeks on one and 2 weeks on the other. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do that for about a month or so. And if the schedule's working out fine, then I'll formally announce, and I'll be doing special podcasts on the making of that stuff. And just going through my design work and process. And if that doesn't work, then I will then go 4 weeks on one and 4 weeks on the other. And just alternate that. Luckily, neither one hinges on having stuff done right away. The project with the friend is more for us trying to get a movie made, as opposed to trying to do like a comic book for release like during the summer or something like that. And then the other personal project, I'm thinking long term. It's really, I'm trying to build like an audience, like a fan audience. And the only way to do that is, one, to produce original work beyond just the pinup art, an actual comic, an actual story. And then on top of that, it's really important that I do a lot of the writing and the creation, because one, I want to own it, and two, to get any traction in the industry these days, you got to have a writer's credit. So fortunately, I spent a lot of years writing, a lot of years actually. And I'm hardly short of ideas. So I got a couple of really good projects that I put together before I even went to announce it, and I picked one I'll start with, and then I'll complete the first bit of that over the next couple of years, and then I'll go do the other one. So I'm sort of doing these back to back, and what else? Oh, lastly, the videos are coming. So if you've been following me at all, I've been trying to get a second computer just to render video of me drawing and painting. So the Avenger sets that I just did for PhoenixCon, I